Okay guys, and welcome back. This is Pete Dahlgren here. We're building the Maersk Models F86, and as you can see, I've gotten one coat of primer on the front part of the fuselage. Now, I'm doing this now so that I can actually take the top and start building. I want to get this as pretty much as close as possible to it so then I can actually take it apart and actually go and start building the cockpit. I've got the frame over there, got a lot of priming done, and all the surfaces are primed and ready for a sanding, and then we can start doing panel lines on a lot of this stuff. But anyway, what I'm showing you here now is that I told you guys many a times just that because it looked straight, I assured you that it was not. And this is what I meant by that. Okay, now over here, this has not been completely blended or sanded, but I want to show you guys this here because you can see highs and lows. You can feel them. So what I do is I'll take and put a little bit of red on there as a guide coat, and I will dry sand this with 220, which I've done this side pretty much, but I had some filling to do over there. Now this is just red Duplicolor, and I use it as red Duplicolor primer, and this is actually 2K, and this is exactly why I've been telling you guys you want to use the 2K primer to get your first two primes in, is because it will actually get in here and fill this stuff. This needs to be finished, and I got some filling to do right there anyway. But anyway, what I'm showing you here is where I've just barely knocked it down. And if you were to use like Duplicolor for a base on this, it's rough in there. It's very rough. And the first coat of this will actually just about disappear. And I'm not talking to a lot of you seasoned builders so much out there as I am the newbies that are out there just getting into this. I want you guys to understand exactly what you're getting into when you do this. And this stuff sounds amazingly easy, but you're going to find little spots in there like that. It'll look real nice and pretty, but you are looking to get this effect in here, and you're going to find every little tiny spot in that. And this is 220, and this is why you need to prime it twice in order to get this to fill it. And then the next one, of course, we will sand with 400, and that'll be the finish. That will be the finished product before we start doing panel lines. So just take in mind, this is 2K primer, and it does sand amazingly quick. But all these little spots here that you thought, these were all little high spots. The next one, I will wet sand with 400, and I will guide coat it with just black lacquer spray paint. Anything that's cheap, a couple bucks a can, nothing spectacular. Let that dry on there, and then we'll get in here and get this blocking done. This is what you're going to look like after your first sanding. They all do this. And this, again, to you seasoned builders out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And for those that have not built that many and have not glassed an airplane or been ready to paint it, like I'm going to on this, it's just one of the steps. And it looks like a big waste. And I've seen guys go up there and coat their whole fuselages with spot putty and eliminate this. And you can do that, but it's expensive, and it takes forever for that stuff to dry. Now, I'm using just a foam block, and I can tell you that there's a lot of work to do here. But it is getting, nonetheless, it's getting that much closer. But your dry time is only about an hour and a half with 2K, where Duplicolor, you're going to let it sit overnight. And I'm using the Spray Max primers, and they work extremely well. So this is what you got, and then what you'll have, and then we'll start doing details. And the next thing I'm going to do is, when I'm doing that, I'm going to start glassing that tail. But while that's curing, I'm going to start working on laying out the gun doors on this and that, and I'm going to start putting panel lines on it. But I'm going to start showing you guys the race thing, start installing the guns and other little details, as well as the little bit of a fillet that does go in the front there. I'm going to be adding things that are not in the detail set. Now, I think one of the big things is that I want to get this front done so that I can set it aside for a while until I get the back end done, and that'll take a few days. It's going to take some time, then I'll get it primed. And with this being said, I can go ahead and start doing panel lines and things like that on the front, knowing that I can do them on the back. All my surfaces are primed, all my tail pieces, my elevators are done, the canopy parts are done. We got a lot of internal work to do. And so I wanted to make sure that when I started getting this and I get the turbine, which should be here tomorrow or the next day, I can start doing other things back here. And this will be primed, by the way. So we're getting it, we're kicking it, and we're starting to get things done. Also, for those of you, I just spoke with Bob Moore. If you want Kevlar gas tanks on this airplane, I have made the back. I'm getting ready to finish it up and get it ready to prime it and sand it off and get ready to send to him. Kevlar gas tanks will be available for the Mears RC jet for the F-86. They are custom made, 1.5 gallon capacity. And if you want them, please let me know. I will figure it out. And they're going to be approximately $400 for the set for Kevlar without fittings. But they will be really super good gas tanks, and I won't run anything but a Kevlar gas tank. And they are custom made for this jet. And the buck is sitting right over there, and it will have a spot for the smoke tank in there. You can run 2 or 3, and I'll show you this later down the road. I'm going to put a coat of Bondo on that and start getting it done, and then I'm going to retest the fuel amount. Right now, that one is 1.25 gallon. So I'm going to double check that and make sure that's what it is. So actually, I'm wrong. It's 3/4 gallon. So that I will double check it, and I'll show you guys how it fits in there. And if you guys want that or want anything else in a different shape, let me know, and I'll build it into this, and we'll get this done. So we'll see you guys in the funny papers.